Good morning, everybody. Please now.
Respected Honorable Vice Chancellor of King George's Medical University, Lieutenant General Bipin Puri Sir, Director Novo Nordisk, Mr. Diwakar Mittal, Vice President and MD Novo Nordisk, Mr. Vikrant Shrotia, distinguished faculty members, my dear students, children and parents, a very good morning to one and all. On behalf of Department of Pediatrics, I, Dr. Arpita Briguvanshi, welcome you all to the inauguration program of a Pediatric Endocrinology Clinic and Center of Excellence for Type 1 Diabetes Mellitus, supported by the Novo Nordisk Education Foundation. As they say, change is the spice of life. Change will not happen if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. Today's event is a reflection of our growth as we inaugurate the Pediatric Endocrinology Clinic and Center of Excellence for Type 1 Diabetes patients and take baby steps toward enhancement of patient care in the enigmatic and vast field of pediatric endocrinology. Om Saraswati Namastubhayam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatumi Sada. Let us now invoke the divine blessings and begin this propitious occasion. May I now request Professor Shrivasti Ma'am to escort all the dignitaries for a traditional auspicious lamp lighting ceremony as a tribute to Ma Saraswati.
हे शारदे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ हे शारदे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ तू स्वर्ग की देवी है संगीत तुझसे हर शब्द तेरा है हर गीत तुझसे तू स्वर्ग की देवी है संगीत तुझसे हर शब्द तेरा है हर गीत तुझसे हम हैं अकेले हम हैं अधूरे तेरी शरण में हमें प्यार दे माँ हे शारदे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ मुनियों ने समझी है गुनियों ने जानी वेदों की भाषा पुराणों की वाणी मुनियों ने समझी है गुनियों ने जानी वेदों की भाषा पुराणों की वाणी हम भी तो समझे हम भी तो जाने विद्या का हमको भी अधिकार दे माँ हे शारदे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ तू श्वेत वाणी कमल पे विराजे हाथों में वीणा मुकुट सर पे साजे तू श्वेत वाणी कमल पे विराजे हाथों में वीणा मुकुट सर पे साजे अज्ञानता के मिटा के अंधेरे उज्जाल का हमको अधिकार दे माँ हे शारदे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ
May I request Dr. Sujata to present floral tribute to Honorable Vice Chancellor. May I request Dr. Sejal to present floral tribute to Mr. Diwakar Mittal. Dr. Vanshika to Mr. Vikrant Shrotia. Dr. Anjali to Professor Shelly Vastima. Dr. Sujata to Professor Mala Kumar ma'am. Thank you. May I now call upon our dynamic head of the department, Professor Shelly Vasti ma'am, to welcome our dignitaries.
Honorable Vice Chancellor of King George Medical University, Lieutenant General Puri, esteemed members of the Novo Nordic Educational Foundation, Bangalore, Mr. Divakar Mittal, Director, Dr. Vikrant Shrotia, Executive Director of Novo Nordic, the entire Indian network, and Chairman of the Education Foundation of Novo Nordic, faculty from other departments, Professor Abjit Kaur and others, people who are online, residents, press, media, and dear students and patients जो टाइप 1 डायबिटिक के पेशेंट्स हैं और उनके अभिभावक, आप सबको यहाँ पे बहुत बहुत वेलकम और आपका स्वागत है. It is my immense pleasure to welcome you all to the formal inauguration of Paediatric Endocrine Clinic, which of the Department of Pediatrics, which is run in the outpatients department every Monday, as well as type 1 diabetes mellitus Center of Excellence, which is being established by the Novo Nordic Education Foundation. It is our honor, our departmental honor and KGMU honor to have this inauguration by our own dynamic Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant General Puri. Sir, you are a source of inspiration to all of us. Since you've come to the university is marching forward and there's no looking back. He promotes each and every faculty to give their best. Thank you, sir, for being with us today. Novo Nordic Education Foundation, for us who were not aware of it, is a non-profit organization established in the year 1997 with the purpose of increasing diabetes awareness and education. This foundation aims to provide comprehensive education and awareness on diabetes and other health issues, bridging the knowledge gap between those who are sick and the doctors who are care providers who know and who have the knowledge. Its mission is enhancing healthcare by facilitating awareness and education. Exactly what the Honorable Vice Chancellor was saying upstairs when he inaugurated the center. The establishment of Center of Excellence in Pediatrics is not only a mission fulfilled, but also is fulfilling the corporate social responsibility of the Novo Nordic. But I thank them for choosing us to establish this center. This center will ensure continuum of care for type 1 diabetic patients by supporting and educating their families, the evidence of which is today, by providing nutritional counseling and by sponsoring their investigation. And we hope that with the support of the government, probably we will be able to give them some additional support in medications. The 10 children invited by us today, आपको बहुत धन्यवाद जो आप लोग आज आए हैं. आज माननीय कुलपति महोदय से आपको यहाँ पर ग्लूकोमीटर दिया जाएगा, जिसकी आपको प्रतिदिन 3 से 4 बार आवश्यकता होती है बच्चों के देखभाल करने में, और ग्लूकोमीटर की स्ट्रिप भी दी जाएगी. डायबिटीज एक ऐसी बीमारी है जो हम आपके लिए बता रहे हैं. मैं 1990 में यूएसए में पढ़ने गई. मेरे साथ उस फेलोशिप में एक डॉक्टर सूजन रैटनर थी, जो कि यूएसए की थी. इतनी लंबी, शादीशुदा, 2 जुड़वा बच्चे, हमारे साथ पढ़ती थी. एक दिन उन्होंने अपने घर पे बुलाया डिनर के लिए हम सबको जो फेलोज थे, एंड वहां पे मुझे पता चला कि डॉक्टर सूजन रैटनर, जो कि बहुत ही अच्छी मेडिकल डॉक्टर है, 2 टीनेज बच्चों की माँ है, टाइप 1 डायबिटिक है। मैंने ये इंडिया में नहीं देखा था। मैंने टाइप 1 की प्रेगनेंसी होते कभी कभार देखा था, ज्यादातर नहीं देखा था। फिर उसके बाद इट वाज एन आई ओपनर। हमारे यहाँ बच्चे डायबिटिक कीटोएसिडोसिस में आते हैं, पर कई बच्चे ठीक हो जाते हैं। तो एक विश्वास और एक उम्मीद के साथ आप लोगों को बताते हैं कि ये बच्चे पूरी स्वस्थ जिंदगी जी सकते हैं, और हमारी हेल्प इसमें नोवो नॉर्डिक करेगा, और डॉक्टर अर्पिता और हमारे कुलपति महोदय हमारे साथ हैं। Today we have more than 50 cases of type 1 diabetic registered in our clinic since post-COVID with Dr. Arpita, who's nodal. She is energetic, committed, and dynamically inclined faculty. She's been running also pediatric endocrine OPD for the last 2 years. Almost 200 cases are in our pediatric endocrinology OPD, care and close follow-up. Besides type 1 diabetes, we are managing the entire spectrum of disorder: short stature, hypothyroidism, obesity, ambiguous genitalia, precocious as well as delayed puberty, and rickets, etc. We need interdisciplinary collaboration, and we are forging links as the clinic progresses. However, pediatric endocrinology unit as well as pediatric endocrinology will benefit by state-of-art endocrinology lab services, because we are test-based. The tests are high-end tests, and sometimes these tests are available, sometimes not available on our campus. Certain hormone assays are being done, but many more are needed. Simple tests like urine osmolality, urine electrolytes sometimes have to be sent because we don't have facilities for them. So with this beginning today, I'm sure Pediatric Endocrinology OPD and Center of Excellence of Type 1 Diabetes will achieve academic and clinical excellence and will benefit society, students, and bring laurels to King George Medical University. Thank you all very much, persons on the dais as well as those sitting there.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are indeed privileged to have amongst us Mr. Devakar Mittal, Director Novo Nordisk, and a kind patron who has been instrumental in establishing the Center of Excellence for Type 1 Diabetes. Sir, may I now request you to address this august gathering.
Good morning to all. On behalf of Novo Nordisk Education Foundation, it's my personal pleasure to invite all of you, all the dignitaries on the stage. Type 1 particularly is a passion, and we really feel that by doing this work, we will contribute more and more to society, to our country, which is very important. And that's also one of the dream of Novo Nordisk Education Foundation, which we have. Capacity building activities, capability building activities, at the same time research, innovation, community approach, which is very important in Type 1. Those are some of the facets which we will do under the leadership of ma'am. So thank you so much, Ma'am Awasthi, for guiding us all the time, and really looking forward. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It gives me immense pleasure to call upon Mr. Vikrant Shrotia, Vice President and MD, Novo Nordisk, to grace us with a few pearls of wisdom.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chief Guest, Lieutenant General Bipin Puri, Ma'am, Professor Shelley Awasthi, and Dr. Nodal Officer, Dr. Arpita, Professor Mala, and the professors sitting out here, kids who have type 1 diabetes, my colleagues and doctors. It is now 100 years, this particular year, when insulin was discovered. It's the only medication which has got the honor of 2 Nobel Prizes. Incidentally, Novo Nordisk as an organization in a very small country called Denmark took a birth in 1923, and we are also celebrating our 100 years this year. In India, we have been present for 40 years. And with this kind of a magnitude of a century, it really feels a great honor to lead this organization in India, which is actually changing diabetes. And also leading Novo Nordisk Education Foundation, which is taking these baby steps, as ma'am you talked about. And I always think about landing on the moon. It's that one small step, which was a giant leap for mankind. It's not a small step at all. It's a gathering which is going to give a big movement. I remember my organization when I joined, we were 20 people, and today we are 4,500 people making a difference. How many states have taken this big step to have a center of excellence? Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan is gearing up, but they have not inaugurated. And I'm so honored to be here. And it is incidental that I am also from UP, that in King George Medical College, we are having one center of excellence. Very small step. But I can tell you, it can become a big movement for those kids. And I learned from ma'am, asadhya. This is asadhya. There's no cure. The treatment has to be given, but the impact is lifelong. And this, we are not talking about a life and survival of 5, 10, or 15 years. The kids who get insulin and who get good monitoring, they can actually live 60 more years. I'm very good acquainted to Dr. Vimon, south of India, when he shows me some of the patients who are actually living 92 years, type 1 diabetic. So I hope that under the presence of Lieutenant General Bipin Puri with ma'am out there and the other dignitaries who are sitting, this will go from strength to strength from here, and we together can make some difference to these kids' journey in life. And I hope, ma'am, that like your professor, somebody will also lead the medical part of it when they get this longer and healthier life. And I hope that the students of there can narrate the same story. It's a hair-raising story, gestational diabetes. These are becoming the phenomena in India. So thanks a lot. And then I should also tell that today even, we will be signing with the health minister the pledge letter for the support. And we have got a very big part to play in the state like UP. And I hope together with the government, with an institution like King George, we make some big difference to people with diabetes. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. A child that every day has to prick himself and has to be cautious of what he eats and also to carry this disorder around. That really is a type of bravery that we all aspire to have. I would now like to welcome our precious gems, our warriors with type 1 diabetes, as well as their parents who have joined us today on this auspicious day for a small token of appreciation from us. मैं सभी डायबिटीज ग्रसित बच्चों को आगे बुलाना चाहूंगी अपने अभिभावकों के साथ. And I would like to request Honorable Vice Chancellor to please distribute glucometers. भूमिका देखिए एक एक करके नाम बुलाती So we are distributing glucometers and glucometer strips and a doll to them. Doll to teach them better.
नाम बच्चे को बताइए। नाम बता दीजिए। सब बच्चों को इकट्ठा बुला के सर के साथ नाम बताओ बच्चे। हाँ वर्षिका। It so happens कि all are girls. Very nice. कोई लड़का नहीं है? हाँ क्या नाम है बेटा? सालिया। हमारे यूपी ट्रीटमेंट हुआ था. They were cleaner in fetal acceleration. All of them. That is how we catch them so late. नाम क्या है बेटे जल्दी से
आप आगे आ जाइए ग्रुप फोटो के लिए.
एक और बच्चे बिना डॉल के देखो डॉल अभी देंगे बेटा
डॉल उसका सेंटर पे भी
तो कुछ तो है
डॉल
लो आ गया
बच्चे आप लोग आ जाइए साथ में ज्वाइन
जी आइए एक मिनट बच्चे लोग आ जाओ बच्चे अपने डॉल लेके आ जाओ आगे आ जाओ फोटो बच्चे सारे बच्चे आ जाओ ये छोटा बच्चा है बहुत वाला आप इधर कोने में खड़े हो नहीं तो फोटो में नहीं आता
Thank you so much, dignitaries, my children and their parents. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. It gives me immense pleasure and honor to introduce our Honorable Vice Chancellor, King George's Medical University, Lieutenant General Bipin Puri sir, a beacon of knowledge and a pioneer of excellence who has been a driving force and inspiration for all of us. He retired from Armed Forces Medical Service from the apex position of Director General. He spearheaded the medical research program of Armed Forces and brought synergy of clinical and basic research with the DRDO. He has been a member of the governing council of ICMR and NBE and also the chairman of International Congress of Military Medicine. May I now request Sir to bestow us with his blessings and kind words.
Professor Shelley Awasthi, Head of Department of Pediatrics, and also the Dean Research of King George Medical University, Mr. Divakar Mittal, Director, Novo Nordisk, and Mr. Vikrant Shortria, Vice President and MD, Novo Nordisk, heads of departments, faculty members, faculty, Department of Pediatrics, residents, parents of type 1 diabetes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm aware there are people who have joined us online as well, so greetings to them as well. Well, let me begin by saying that I'm very pleased to be a part of this inaugural function for this new vertical of pediatric endocrinology that we have inaugurated today in the Department of Pediatrics. I'm very, very pleased and very, very happy, as I keep saying, that these centers of excellence that we try and bring in our institution are actually going to be windows where we give our best to the society at large. And we also, in our own little way, develop our own faculty, capacity building, so to say, not only in terms of our own personal growth stories, but also for the institution. For me, both are as important. See, a synergy between your capacity building and the institutional growth as we walk in tandem. So I think it's very important, and I congratulate Professor Sherry Avasti for taking the lead as far as pediatric endocrinology is concerned. As you're all aware, endocrinology, pediatric endocrinology issues, what we see is just the tip of the iceberg. Perhaps because of poor diagnosis, lack of awareness, literacy, etc., etc. So a host of factors. But the fact of the matter is that there are a huge amount of issues in pediatric endocrinology, be it growth issues, obesity, the pituitary adrenal gonadal axis issues, and of course, type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes, friends, ladies and gentlemen, I think I cannot emphasize more. A lot has already been said, but the fact of the matter is that it requires multidisciplinary treatment, because it fans out to various disciplines. And I think multiple disciplines who have a common interest in pediatrics and diabetes would understand the ramifications, the challenges that these unfortunate children face from time to time. We know about the various the target organs, the glycemic control issues, the problems of neurocognitive growth, especially in the pediatric population, because glycemic control in the pediatric setting is not simple. Let's face it. In adults, maybe you could tell him yes or no. In a pediatric setting, it doesn't work so easily. And therefore, it's a bigger challenge. And not only is it a challenge, but also the fact that the brain requires, for its ongoing growth, development, it requires glucose. And you have a situation of insulin sensitivity. So those become major issues and challenges as we look after these children. So I think it's important for us to understand also the dynamics of the whole thing, the volume of this problem. As I said, much of it is undiagnosed. But today I'm told that I think we got this figures from Lancet, where they talk about 8.6 lakh children today in India have type 1 diabetes. So that's the numbers that we're talking about. Of course, I think it's a ballpark figure. I don't think that would be very exacting. Globally, they're talking about 8.4 million children who have type 1 diabetes. Now, that's colossal. It's a gigantic number. Can you imagine the amount of children? And these are the children that you require to care for their glycemic control. Remember, like we keep talking about HB1AC controls of about 6.5 to 7 in type 2, the numbers is much higher because it's so difficult to control diabetes in children. And therefore, the HB1AC controls that they are allowing is as much as 8.5. Also in some, I was reading from the American Endocrinology, they're even allowing 8.5 as a decent control. The point which I'm trying to make is that this is a tightrope walk. Caring for these children, caring for not only their growth patterns, their glycemic, prevention of complications, dietary control, exercise, nutrition. I think it's a package. It's a package which this thing. I'm very pleased Arpita has taken this upon herself as a challenge, and I congratulate Dr. Arpita for taking this. I think it's very, very important to somebody has to be very focused. Somebody has to take it as a lifetime passion, and if that is the only way the whole thing works. And I once again congratulate Professor Shelley and her team of very focused development. And this Center of Excellence, I'm sure, is going to be a feather in your cap. And as I always say that perfection is not always attainable. It's not. Because you want to be perfect, it's not always. But if we choose perfection, somewhere down the line, we get excellence. So with these few words, once again, congratulations and God bless.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Your guidance and presence are a constant source of motivation for all of us. As they say, all good things must come to an end. So with this, we come to the culmination of this program. I would like to thank each one of you who took out time from their busy schedules to join us today and make this event a grand success. I would end by saying that future is not something we enter. The future is something we create. So let's join hands and make a bright future for our silent sufferers, the little warriors. Let's make a small difference to their difficult lives and make them a bit easier. I will request all the dignitaries and faculty members to kindly join us for high tea in HOD ma'am's room, and the rest to remain seated here. The refreshment will be served shortly. Once again, our sincere thanks to each one of you for joining us today on this momentous occasion.